I received an email, a cease and desist, not to mention her name or to speak to the controversy. I scanned down to the bottom, and it was not from a lawyer, not from an attorney, not anybody who was barred. It was from Cheyenne Bryant herself. I said, I'm gonna walk away. I do not want to be a part of black on black crime. So I let it go.
You know what? Just gonna go to hell. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, okay? Took me 12 seconds to find it on Amazon. $83. $83! You're not about to keep playing in my face. Produce the document. Show us footage. Give me the receipts. Or we don't want to hear this. What Monique say? If you're not going to put a name to it, keep it on the playground. This is childish, and you need to go to hell.
Cheyenne Bryant has gone from using her fake PhD as a way to intimidate people to going after anyone who says something negative about her. This even includes her former friend, Pastor Jamal Bryant. He was one of the first people to publicly criticize her and accuse her of scamming black people. Since then, Cheyenne has reportedly taken things much further. She allegedly tried to influence Pastor Jamal through fake professors before sending lawyers, cease and desist letters, and threats demanding that he take back his statements. Pastor Jamal has brushed off those threats, but his wife Karri is now speaking out as well. She appears determined to confront Cheyenne over what she sees as an attempt to pressure or blackmail them. At this point, the situation has clearly become much bigger than anyone expected.
I can't believe that people are asking to see everybody. When you go to a doctor's office, somebody, if they're working with your mind or your body, if they're a mechanic, they show you on the wall. They see,
yeah, you right.
You're not gonna walk in somebody and they want to deride, nigga. If you like, so I think, but I do think it's disingenuous to believe that they ask people if you're dealing with somebody's mind, if you're dealing with somebody's physical well-being. You should be trained for it.
Cheyenne Bryant became well known online as a therapist who appeared confident, knowledgeable, and trustworthy. Her growing popularity brought her plenty of attention, money, and opportunities to appear on major platforms, including The Breakfast Club, Joe Budden's show, Cam Newton's platform, and Club Shay Shay. These appearances helped strengthen her reputation and made even more people believe in her advice. Her influence eventually grew so much that she became president of a local NAACP branch, giving her an even stronger connection with the black community. However, that trust began to disappear when questions about her background and qualifications came to light. Critics accused her of misleading people and presenting herself as a licensed therapist when she was not properly licensed. Bryant reportedly defended her lack of a license by saying she wanted to help low-income black people who had been ignored by or did not trust the medical system. The bigger controversy, though, involved her use of the title Doctor of Psychology. Questions were raised about how she could use that title without having the degree or formal training normally associated with it. Despite this, she continued giving people advice and presenting herself as an expert in relationships, marriage, and family matters. Another point that drew criticism was her claim to be qualified to give marriage advice despite never having been married herself. She argued that people could benefit from listening to a single woman who was happy rather than a married woman trapped in an unhappy relationship. Her comments sparked even more debate about her credibility and the qualifications behind the advice she was giving.
Been together 15 years but miserable 13. I'd rather take advice from a single woman or man who's happy, thriving, successful, meaning in their joy, not just in their monetary value, than someone who is miserable in their marriage with a side dude and a side chick, and you want to give me the advice that you give yourself that you use in your failed marriage. I'll pass. I'll pass. I'll pass. And what happens is married people like to shun on single folks. The Bible also says single people are happy people. Look that up. Look that up. It says marriage takes discipline.
Going to college is considered a major achievement in the black community. Earning a doctorate would be an even bigger accomplishment, something many people would proudly celebrate. However, Cheyenne could not provide her thesis or doctorate degree when asked, and she became frustrated because people were no longer willing to believe her claims.
I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years.
However, while professional therapists were openly calling Cheyenne out for her behavior, she did not receive the same level of criticism from the people and platforms that had helped make her popular. Some people on the Joe Budden podcast defended her, while Cam Newton and Shannon Sharpe remained mostly silent, despite their own public controversies and contradictions. That made it even more surprising when Pastor Jamal Bryant eventually spoke out against Cheyenne. He had previously welcomed her onto his Let's Be Clear podcast and even jokingly referred to her as his play cousin, because they share the same last name. At the time, Jamal appeared to support her and gave her a platform to share her views. However, even his audience seemed unsure about the decision. Many listeners questioned why she had been invited and expressed discomfort with some of the things she said. Later, when allegations surfaced that Cheyenne had been dishonest and using people for her own benefit, Jamal Bryant reportedly felt embarrassed that he had supported her publicly. He eventually apologized to his audience for giving her a platform and admitted that he had been misled. Jamal made it clear that he did not support Cheyenne's actions and wanted to distance himself from the story and claims she had been promoting. What had started as public support quickly turned into a very different situation once he believed he had been deceived.
The danger of Sister Cheyenne Bryant, not Doctor, Sister Cheyenne Bryant, is that it pulls us back further because we already had suspicion, we already had a pregnant pause, and we already had an overwhelming trepidation as to whether or not medical mental health was appropriate for us. We have a long-standing, had a pregnant pause around how it is that we have been treated, as cited in the book Medical Apartheid. And so for those who are yearning to breathe free, now having to question the credentials and the qualifiers, raises for us another stumbling block.
It was one thing for people on the internet to criticize Cheyenne for allegedly deceiving them, but she never expected Pastor Jamal to join the people speaking out against her. She likely thought he would stay quiet and allow the controversy to fade away, just as many others had. Instead, Pastor Jamal publicly distanced himself from her, which appeared to damage whatever credibility she believed she still had. Rather than admitting that she may have made mistakes, Cheyenne seemed to respond by becoming even more defensive. She called her critics haters and continued trying to control the public conversation. She even joined a viral Netflix trend by posting a video of herself wearing a PhD gown. However, people later discovered that the gown had reportedly been purchased from Amazon. By that point, many people had already moved on from the controversy, so her attempt to bring attention back to herself was met with more criticism and disbelief. The situation became even more troubling when Pastor Jamal claimed that Cheyenne had pressured him to apologize for what he said about her. According to him, she sent him a cease and desist message and warned him not to speak about her negatively or discuss the controversy. She also reportedly asked him to delete a post he had made and remove any videos he planned to release about the situation. Pastor Jamal explained that the message did not come from a lawyer or legal representative. Instead, he claimed it came directly from Cheyenne herself. Rather than backing down, Pastor Jamal ignored the demand and continued with his life. But the controversy did not end there. Cheyenne allegedly brought another person, Jackal Pitts, into the situation. He reportedly sent a message claiming to be the president of Indiana Southwest Christian University and stated that Cheyenne had earned a doctorate in theocratic psychology from the institution. However, there was reportedly no transcript or other clear documentation proving that she had actually received the degree. When Pastor Jamal investigated the claim further, he allegedly discovered something even more shocking. The university itself did not appear to exist. If those allegations are accurate, it would mean the story surrounding Cheyenne's academic credentials was based on something that could not be independently verified. At that point, the controversy seemed to grow larger with every new explanation. Instead of putting the issue to rest, each new claim appeared to create even more questions. What started as criticism over her credentials had turned into a much bigger public dispute involving accusations, threats, and questionable claims. The more Cheyenne tried to defend herself, the more attention the controversy seemed to attract.
Doesn't even have a college email. Jackwell Pitts is on Gmail. So if you want the transcript, email him directly, and maybe he'll be able to give you answers I'm not able to provide. Y'all, let's shut the case on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. The only robes I want to see people in are the 500 kids who are trying to go to Howard, an accredited school. God bless you.
Pastor Jamal is also known for being involved in controversy from time to time, but even he seems to understand when it is better to step back, let the drama cool down, and continue building his audience. That is why it has been surprising to watch Cheyenne become increasingly upset over the situation. Instead of allowing the issue to fade away, the conflict appears to have grown even bigger. Pastor Jamal reportedly gave Cheyenne what he believed was simple advice: take a break, step away from the situation, and move forward. However, he may have underestimated how seriously Cheyenne was taking everything. According to reports, Pastor Jamal has now been served with legal papers and could soon have to defend himself in court. Cheyenne has reportedly accused him of making defamatory and misleading statements about her education, professional credentials, and private life. Pastor Jamal has indicated that he plans to stop discussing the matter publicly. In other words, he appears ready to leave the controversy behind and no longer give it attention. However, Karri Bryant has reportedly taken a very different position. She was allegedly the person who introduced Cheyenne to her husband and encouraged him to have Cheyenne appear on his podcast because she believed it could be a positive opportunity for everyone involved. Unfortunately, that decision reportedly turned into a major source of conflict. Karri is said to be extremely protective of her husband, and reports claim that she does not take accusations against him lightly. According to the claims circulating online, Karri allegedly contacted Cheyenne and warned her to reconsider the lawsuit if she did not want to damage what remained of her public reputation. She has also reportedly suggested that she could present evidence involving people who claim they had negative experiences with Cheyenne. Since then, several people have reportedly come forward online with their own stories. One person described an alleged personal experience with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant after seeking her out because she understood her to be a woman and family therapist. The person explained that her regular therapist was unavailable at the time, so she wanted to speak with another Black female therapist. She also said she initially appreciated some of the advice Cheyenne was sharing. However, according to this person, the first appointment did not feel like a normal therapy session. She claimed she was not asked basic intake questions, did not complete paperwork, and felt more as though she were talking casually with someone she already knew. She said much of the conversation focused on Cheyenne's own relationships and opinions about how women should view themselves rather than understanding the client's personal situation. The person explained that she had been struggling with anxiety connected to PTSD and was hoping to receive practical guidance and coping tools. Instead, she said the conversation left her feeling worse and eventually contributed to a period of depression. She felt that she was being judged rather than supported when she was already going through a difficult time. Another person made a similar complaint, claiming they paid $300 for an hour-long session and left feeling criticized rather than helped. According to that account, the experience triggered their anxiety and PTSD so severely that they had to wait until their licensed mental health therapist became available again. These are individual allegations and personal accounts, not established facts, but they have added fuel to the growing online discussion. Others have also shared their opinions about Cheyenne's public career. One commenter claimed they had questioned her credibility for years, pointing to her appearances on reality television and saying they felt she became too emotionally involved in the drama surrounding the young people featured on those programs. The same person also referenced her later reality TV appearances and said those experiences reinforced their doubts. Critics have also questioned the way Cheyenne presents her professional credentials. Some online commenters have mocked her for wearing jewelry displaying a professional title, while demanding stronger proof of her academic background. Others have accused her of focusing more on social media attention and provocative posts than providing clear documentation of her degrees and qualifications. Still, the central issue remains the question of whether the accusations about her credentials are true. If Cheyenne maintains that her degrees and qualifications are legitimate, critics argue that official documentation should be enough to answer those questions. At the same time, allegations made online should not automatically be treated as proven facts, and any legal claims will ultimately need to be addressed through proper evidence and the court process. For now, the controversy continues to attract attention, with both sides facing growing public scrutiny. Pastor Jamal appears to want to move on from the dispute, while Cheyenne's reported legal action has kept the story alive. The situation could become even more complicated if additional people come forward with their own claims, or if the case moves forward in court. The big question now is whether the evidence will support the accusations being made by either side.